8 years after he was named as an accused and jailed for the alleged fake encounter of Sohrabuddin Sheikh, a deposition by a key witness suggests that the BJP president, Amit Shah, may have been framed. In fact, this deposition seems to suggest that anyone who was close to then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi was fair game for the CBI under the UPA. Here are the hard facts, viewers. Up front, as always, on the show, Sohrabuddin's brother breaks silence on Times Now. Nayamuddin reiterates sensational court deposition. Nayamuddin claims CBI added Shah's name to 2010 affidavit and thereby ensnared him, had him arrested and interrogated in this particular case. Nayamuddin claims he never alleged Amit Bhai, as he called him, wanted to kill him or in any way pressured him to dilute his deposition. In fact, he says quite the opposite. He says, I told the CBI X number of things, but they added of their own volition certain facts suggesting that Amit Shah, who was at that time the Home Minister of Gujarat under Narendra Modi, was trying to intimidate him, was trying to ensure that this case collapsed. Yes, this is significant because this testimony was made right after the CBI made allegedly those false accusations. But for 8 years, it got lost somehow, mysteriously, suppressed, buried, we don't know. But it was never allowed to surface. Now, when finally Nayamuddin has gone before the court, he has reminded the court, the investigators, the authorities, the public prosecutor, that he had actually protested against the CBI. And how do we know this, viewers? How can we believe this individual? Because at that time, here in my hand is the proof. These are articles that have appeared, and you can see this in the Indian Express. They have appeared in a website called Rediffusion, Rediff. And what does it say? It says 15 September 2010, 8 years ago, viewers, almost to the day, one of the brothers of Sohrabuddin Sheikh, Nayamuddin, who is witness in the fake encounter killing case, has alleged CBI has altered his statement and included some portions which he never said before it. Can you believe this, viewers? And these protest counter affidavits lodged by Nayamuddin, the man who's going to come up on your screens, mysteriously disappeared, suppressed. We don't know. We don't know. We can't vouch. All we know is that this fact somehow got sifted out. Listen to this man, Nayamuddin, talking to Times Now.
कोर्ट में मैंने एक तो मेरा बयान दिया वहाँ पे, उसमें फिर मैंने कुछ नई चीज़ देखी थी जिसमें अवैध चुड़ासमा अमित शाह वगैरह को जोड़ा जोड़ी करा था। हाँ, तो ये सीबीआई के बयान में था। ये सीआईडी की चार्जशीट थी, इसमें 3 सीआईडी ने डाली थी, 1 सीबीआई ने डाली थी। तो सीआईडी में कहीं मैंने बयान में दिया नहीं था ये चीज़। अब उसमें क्या होता, पूरी चार्जशीट खराब होती है उससे। एक झूठ बोलने से फिर 100 झूठ बोलनी पड़ती है। क्या ये मामला है? तो सीबीआई की मैंने शिकायत करी। मैंने कहा कि सीबीआई जो है शुरू से आखिरी तक इसका अच्छा रोल नहीं रहा है और कोर्ट भी कोई संज्ञान ले नहीं रही है इसके खिलाफ। जब इन्होंने 100 से ज्यादा हॉस्टाइल हो गए गवाह, तो केस क्या सब एक्विटल हो जाएंगे। तो मतलब सोहराबुद्दीन ने क्या आत्महत्या करी क्या है? 100 से ज्यादा गवाह हॉस्टाइल हो गए और सीबीआई ने जो है एक के खिलाफ भी एफआईआर नहीं कराई। तो सीबीआई चाहती क्या, एक्विटल करनी चाहती सबको। ने मेरा स्टेटमेंट सुनो, मेरा जहाँ स्टेटमेंट खत्म हुआ वहां से ही दूसरा स्टेटमेंट चालू हुआ है। पार्ट 2 जैसा बनाया उन्होंने, मेरे साइन नहीं उस पेपर पे।
Well, there you go. Massive revelation. I want to bring in Megha Prasad and Kajal Iyer. Megha, I want to begin by asking you first, why is this so significant? And how is it that this never was really put forth assertively?
Well, Rahul, that's very, very baffling as to how this particular affidavit, the handwritten affidavit that Niyamuddin now claims that he has given, he had in fact way back in 2010 given and submitted in an Ahmedabad court, it just sort of disappeared. Disappeared to the extent of never coming on record till the point that yesterday Niyamuddin in the Mumbai Sessions Court orally went and informed the court that he had given this particular affidavit. He had complained about the CBI. He did way back in 2010 when the time he figured that an alleged tampering was done with the statement. He had in fact, the first thing he had done was to put it on record and say that CBI has put the name of the then Home Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Amit Shah, and Abhay Chudasama, one of the loyal police officers seen very close to the erstwhile Modi government there in Gujarat. All their names were added in his statement without his knowledge. He had no idea that these parts were added to his statement. In fact, the CBI officer who took down his statement had travelled to his village in Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh and had taken the statement down without his signature, went back and submitted his statement as a part of the charge sheet in this case. And when that happened, the lawyers of Sohrabuddin alerted him, asked him if he'd ever spoken about the role of Amit Shah and Abhay Chudasama. That's when he found out that something that was not brought to his knowledge, that he himself had not narrated to the CBI, was a part of that statement. It is extremely curious how all of this has happened, Rahul, and this particular affidavit is indeed a part of the case papers. Then how did it get buried? How did the CBI not do anything about it? And to add to this, Rahul, one last bit. In fact, I am told, and Niyamuddin has gone on record with me, Rahul, to say this, that after this affidavit was filed and the CBI figured that he was trying to complain and tell the court that he had not taken the name of Amit Shah, one of the top CBI officers overseeing this investigation summoned him to Mumbai and asked him to withdraw the affidavit. Niyamuddin alleges that he told the CBI officer that's not going to happen, and he stood his ground, did not withdraw that
quickly, let me bring in. That's very, very big. What Megha is saying is that there was pressure put on Niyamuddin later on by the CBI to withdraw his protest against the CBI. So this was a double attempt at trying to cover up. Now, Kajal, I wanted to ask you, because many people will question why after 8 years has Niyamuddin suddenly leapt up and made these claims. Where was he all this time? Can you answer that?
Well, there are two aspects to this particular answer. One is the fact that this case itself has meandered through various investigating agencies, various courts, and only last year, sometime in the later part of 2017, did Sohrabuddin trial actually begin. And though Niyamuddin had made these claims to the CBI, until and unless it is brought on record in front of a judge, there is no way to proceed against any of those people involved. And that is what happened yesterday. Even in this particular case also, the CBI had claimed that they had lost track of Niyamuddin and they could not trace him, and despite the summons that had been sent to him, whereas we are being told that he was all the time in his village in Madhya Pradesh only, and he had been there for everyone to see, but the CBI had said that they could not trace him, and which is why a non-bailable warrant was eventually issued, and he appeared in court based on those summons and the warrant, and then he made this explosive claim yesterday.
That is big. So the CBI, jittery perhaps, wanted to convey the impression that they could not find this man. This man whose testimony, had it been not misrepresented, would not have led to the consequences and, of course, the political charge that was made against both Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. Very, very significant. Let me open this out. Dr. Sambit Patra, national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Raghav Awasthi, a lawyer, also joins the panel this evening. Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist. Mahmood Paracha, a lawyer, as well as Suman C. Navan, political analyst, and P.L. Visheshwar Rao, professor of Osmania University. And let me begin with you first and directly. Mr. Ashutosh Mishra, this is serious. An attempt being made to entrap, or was made to entrap, using perhaps the CBI, Amit Shah, so that the Congress party could then get at Narendra Modi, is serious.
It is serious, because what is happening here is that we are casting aspersion at the credibility of a premier investigating agency. So the CBI, what we are being told, parrots whatever the government of the day tells it, and it also puts a question mark on how the judicial system, or rather how the police works.
No, who are you accusing of trying to malign the CBI? Who are you suggesting is doing that?
Whoever is casting aspersion on
who is casting? In this
CBI's
particular case, there is a gentleman called Mr. Nayamuddin.
And he's a gentleman who has been changing his statement.
What? When has he changed his statement?
And
No, when has he changed his statement?
If he was,
No, do you know the facts?
Yeah, I know the facts.
No, so what are the facts? How can you say he changed his statement? The CBI comes to him, records his statement, adds a paragraph or two, submits it in court. Immediately, within weeks, this man goes up to the court and says, listen, I never even put out that statement. They have misrepresented all that I'm saying.
That's what his claim is now. So it has to be proved first.
It's an affidavit, sir.
So what?
Why would he have wanted to change his? Why would he want to change his statement?
That's for him to answer.
He's answered.
That's for him to answer.
He says that there was obviously some pressure.
At times people are afraid.
How is he afraid?
And if he can, and we have seen that in this particular
Sir,
case,
this was a court-monitored investigation, and let me tell you, the CBI trial court. Now you are claiming that people are trying to malign, sir, the CBI. Listen to what the CBI trial court said in December 2014. It said, I found substance, and I'm talking about CBI special judge, M.B. Gosavi. He came out and said, I found substance in the main contention made by the applicant. Who was the applicant? Mr. Amit Shah. That he was involved in the case by the CBI for political reasons. Are you saying the court also was trying to malign the CBI? The judge?
No, we are talking about the credibility
what is this?
of CBI.
This is what is written here.
Judiciary.
Here it
All
is.
of them have been acquitted.
No, so you don't want to believe Nayamuddin, who in the same case is suggesting that the CBI was playing some sort of a double game. He's saying it, you heard it. It's not, I'm not making this up.
As a citizen of India, it's very worrying for me that CBI can be manipulated.
Obviously, it was you. Are you worried that the UPA, who was accused of turning the CBI into a... Oh, so you're saying now. But how does this change? No, but in this particular case...
is why destroy the credibility of a
Who is destroying the credibility? A man who has been misquoted or misrepresented. Does he have not a right to come out and impugn?
CBI also has the right to present its case.
Okay, present its case. Dr. Patra.
Rahul, you have to understand a few things over here. Number one, it's not that Mr. Nayamuddin comes out suddenly and complains about the CBI today when the BJP is in government. Remember, I have heard your report, and your report suggested that he had complained about the CBI beforehand itself. The only issue was the affidavit went missing till yesterday, when Mr. Nayamuddin appeared in person and said that, well, yes, I had complained about the CBI, adding my statement, which I had never said. I had complained about it previously. The CBI was pressurizing upon me to withdraw that statement, and that affidavit had gone missing. And today I stand in front of you, my lord, to testify whatever I have been saying in that affidavit. So remember, it's not that suddenly there is a person called Nayamuddin who comes and speaks. It is everything of yesteryears. Number two, there's a sense of deja vu. Deja vu because remember, it was the same channel, the Times Now, I had debated about Israt Jahan case. There was an officer called as RBS Money. We had heard about the torture meted out on RBS Money, and we had seen as to how affidavit during that tenure was changed by none other than Mr. P. Chidambaram, the then Home Minister. Remember, all this is repetition. And what is at the basis of everything? At the basis of everything is, let us finish Modi and Amit Shah before they emerge as a strong leader in 2014, because the Congress party had realized by then that Mr. Modi, because of the work that he has been doing in Gujarat, because of the politics of development, is sure to emerge strong in the national
Mr. Raman,
polity. And to stop him,
the BJP is citing some sort of a conspiracy. And let me just cite some examples to you, because there seems to be prima facie a pattern here. And let's put out that graphic. Watch it as I recount that graphic. Now let me tell you, the Bombay High Court and the Supreme Court in 2016, sir, foiled activist Harsh Mandar's attempt to reopen this very case. Finally, in 2016, after appeals and so on and so forth, the Supreme Court refused to reopen the case against Amit Shah on the ground that Mandar was in no way an affected person. Then there was an attempt in the judge-lawyer case. Judge-lawyer case, and you know what was said by the court in the judge-lawyer case, sir. If you allow me, I can read out a couple of sentences. The first charge that the Supreme Court made was it would have been ideal to initiate contempt proceedings against those individuals who were trying to suggest that the judge-lawyer case was more than a natural death. It says it was bereft of any truth, and most importantly, it's a case where political rivalry was brought to court to malign the judiciary itself. Then, sir, you will remember instances when an individual who was serving the police and was on the police force in Gujarat came out and slandered then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi. So there is a pattern here. Would you not agree, sir?
Rahul, I want to make two quick points. First is on the matter on this Supreme Court order on the Judge Loya case. With all due respects, there are still a large number of unanswered questions. Let's leave that aside. The problem we have with multiple cases, and this Sohrabuddin case is probably one prime example, is of massive numbers of witnesses turning hostile. Now you have 90 people, 91 at last count. Sir, can I finish? Sir, can I finish? Sir, can I finish?
Of course, sir, I have no intention of interrupting. Which
there are
you are, of course, sir, you are also a co-panelist. I don't wish to interrupt though, but I need to object at the outset when you said no, despite the fact that
let Mr. Raman speak.
Let's not go down that now.
Gentlemen, let Mr. Raman speak.
Can I haven't even spoken, sir, please. Let me make my point. When witnesses turn hostile in a large scale manner, as they do in this case, 91 witnesses have turned hostile at last count, and there are many such cases. This is certainly not the only such case. I remember one very famous case, the Shankaracharya was the accused. The Kanchi Shankaracharya was an accused. 80 out of the 180 witnesses turned hostile. So this happens across multiple cases. Now you have got to work out a mechanism. Either these people who change their versions have to be tried for perjury, or the police officer who must have framed them. If they didn't change their stand because it was perjury, then the only other option is they were framed.
Sir, we are on the case.
Actually,
the man says
say something.
that he was misrepresented.
Case, you must take action.
Now you tell me, was there a pattern? Was there a pattern?
Made this man give a wrong,
there can be
affidavit.
No, there can be one coincidental happening, but there can't be 6. That's a pattern.
No,
so I'm asking you, Mr. Paracha.
Rahul, the point I'm trying to make.
I'm not getting straight answers.
Look, if you're saying that a lot of people were given
for giving me the opportunity.
Both Mr. Raman,
the man who forced them to sign must be punished.
That doesn't answer the question, sir.
Allow me to respond to Mr.
That
Samit
is
Patra
just the thin edge of the wedge. We are looking at a massive conspiracy if this is true. And I want to ask if this fits a pattern. I asked that question of Mr. Mishra, no jawab. I asked Mr. Raman.
Yes.
He sort of danced around the subject.
I will tell you the
pattern.
I'm asking you.
Hear your question, Rahul.
Mehmood Paracha.
No, please repeat the question.
I will tell you the pattern.
Please repeat the question.
I'm saying, was there a pattern?
Please repeat the question.
Was there a pattern?
I will tell the pattern.
Tell me the pattern. Mr. Paracha.
So you need to investigate
yes,
if
yes,
there was a
Rahul
pattern,
sir, I
and
will
if
tell
there
you the
was a pattern, the officers and whoever
If our
ordered
learned
them
friend
must
allows
be
me to
punished.
Okay, so there is
But
no
you're not
doubt.
doing that. You're only using it for media debates.
What media debates, sir? Look at the amount of matter that I have just quoted. The Supreme
Why don't
Court
you punish the officers who
on
did
several
that?
occasions.
Look,
Can I
if a
come
Okay,
CBI
Mr. Paracha. So we punish those who are the foot soldiers taking orders from political masters. Forget the political masters. Let's go after the lowest common denominator.
So bring them
Shocking.
So
now that is called, sir,
justice.
exceptionalism.
If
1
they were
minute.
taking
Let me
orders
bring
from
in
the
Mr.
political
Paracha.
masters,
Mr.
let
Paracha,
them
make your
depose
point.
that before the court.
Okay, Mr. Raman, 1 second. Let Mr. Paracha make his point. Mr. Paracha.
No, first of all of us are in unison on one fact, that the CBI can be manipulated. If it can be manipulated, then it can be manipulated now surely by a self-styled stronger Prime Minister that Mr. Narendra Modi Sahab proclaims himself to be. Now there is a sense of deja vu. Yes, I agree with Mr. Sambit Patra, and the deja vu is that Judge Loya's son was brought before the cameras to defend Mr. Amit Shah. That is the sense of deja vu we are having. Now brother of a deceased person has been brought to speak against the case. So now the third thing I want to point out. Now third thing. 53.
You should be ashamed tonight.
53.
Please be ashamed.
53.
Please don't be a
yes.
paware of this
53
lurid
witnesses have
theories.
turned hostile.
Mr. Paracha desist.
53
Mr.
witnesses
Paracha
have
desist.
turned
You are a
hostile.
self-styled
So
advocate.
this is how.
And yet you are a
fourth point
paware of
I want to
conspiracy
make.
theories.
Why?
You
Somebody
say
would
things
name Mr.
without
Ajay
any factual
Chudasama
basis.
along with Mr. Amit Shah.
On the basis of
if there was a
speculation.
political rivalry, it was
You
with
are
Mr. Amit Shah
accusing
or
the
Narendra Modi.
president of the biggest political party in the
Sambit
world
Patra was saying, see, they will not
for
allow me to speak. That's the
involvement
biggest
in
point.
a death
The biggest point
that
is
has
they
been
can't answer the
investigated
logic.
thoroughly
The
by the
logic cannot
Supreme
be
Court
answered by them.
at the behest
Now,
of activists
Mr.
like
Sambit Patra
you.
is saying that
You
Narendra
are an
Modi
anti-national,
was seen
sir.
as a
Okay,
threat.
1 second.
You
Let me
want
come in
to
here.
destroy
1 second. Let me come in here. Mr. Paracha. 1 minute. Gentlemen, Avasti, Mr. Avasti, 1 second. Let me come in. Hold your horses. Gentlemen, 1 second. Mr. Paracha, you are referring to a case. The judge lawyer, the judge lawyer case. The judge lawyer case, sir, has been dismissed by the Supreme Court. 3-judge bench. And I just read out. Are you in contempt, sir? Which is what the judge lawyer case is. The judges have said. Now listen to me.
I am not in contempt.
Why not?
I am just saying.
Listen to this.
You
are casting aspersions. You are casting aspersions. You are part of this attempt to malign the judiciary. I want to read out.
Brought on television per force.
How can he be brought on television per force, sir, when he was asked to appear yesterday for the first time?
Of us, brother.
He was asked to appear. He has been, sir,
to defend.
In November, and he was asked to come and depose. For some reason or the other, best known to him, he hasn't been able to comply. Finally, the court said, we will arrest you. You better show up. He shows up and he makes a claim that he has already made. He has already made this claim 8 years ago. He's not saying something new. 8 years ago,
leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi Sahab.
Mr. Paracha, 8 years ago. Don't try to mix up facts. 8 years ago, this man said the same thing, that the CBI was lying.
No, I'm not mixing up facts.
That the CBI was lying. He's only reiterating what he said 8 years back. Now 1 minute. You are raising questions about Judge Lawyer. 1 minute, sir. Please, allow me. You are misleading the public of this country, and I need to set the record straight.
I'm sorry. Mr. Modi was one of the many chief ministers BJP was having.
Listen to me, sir.
If somebody was having problems with
political
leader, it would be Mr. Advani.
Here we go.
Yashwant Sinha,
sir, if you allow me to speak, otherwise I'll be forced to lay off
He was just a chief minister.
You can't keep shouting here and heckling people. Let me correct some of the impressions. No, it's okay, I've given him enough time. Now listen to me. Viewers, I want us to pay attention to what the Supreme Court has said. A 3-judge bench led by the Chief Justice of India has come out and said the plea to investigate Judge Lawyer's death was bereft of any truth. Not my words, said by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court added that the PIL was an attempt to malign the judiciary. You will remember how certain advocates jumped up in court to allege that the Chief Justice of India himself was perhaps part of some big conspiracy to undermine the courts. The court wrapped these petitioners and said it would have been ideal to initiate contempt proceedings against them in the case where political rivalry was brought to court to malign the judiciary. The top court further said that petitioner advocates Dushyant Dave, Indira Jaising and Prashant Bhushan launched a frontal attack on the judiciary by urging the Supreme Court to disbelieve the 3 judicial officers who accompanied Judge Loya to Nagpur and stayed with him at a guest house, and who later said the judge died of a heart attack. Natural circumstances. Mr. Paracha, why are you misleading India today? Are you part of a cabal who wants to malign the judiciary? Answer me. You're an officer of the law. You tell me now.
3rd of October.
You tell me now.
15 days from now.
You tell me now.
You tell me why 4 judges were compelled on this very subject to hold a press conference for the first time in history of India.
His license to practice
and one of those
the law
judges
should be
is
revoked.
going to be the Chief Justice of India.
You know, sir, what Mr. Nariman told me? Mr. Nariman told me they made the biggest mistake and made the greatest disservice to the cause of the judiciary. You are no greater than Mr. Nariman. Sorry.
Press conference.
You are no greater than Mr. Nariman, Mr. Paracha.
No. I am not greater.
I interviewed him and he told me this was the biggest blunder made. Biggest blunder made. They should have actually spoken and never aired dirty laundry in public. They should have spoken with the Chief Justice. They should have settled this behind closed doors. So they were in fact, according to Mr. Nariman, breaching a long laid down tradition in the Supreme Court. So sorry, I want to get back to the point. I don't want to be distracted by individuals who are trying to cloud this entire story. But Mr. Avasthi, certain charges have been made about timing, etc. Respond to those. Respond to those.
You don't want to listen to any other point of view.
I am quoting the Supreme Court, sir. The word of the Supreme Court is supreme. That's it.
There are charges.
You have a problem, go move it. Go file a curative petition. Don't sit here and malign this channel or the other here. I am not saying anything out of the blue.
Never before.
From the merits of what has been presented.
On Mr. Amit Shah's
there
subject.
There are people like Mr. Paracha
Understand that. Don't undermine that.
Aspersions upon the integrity of institutions that do not toe the line of their thoroughly and decidedly Islamist agenda. But this should not distract us from the pursuit of the unvarnished truth. Yes, this is your Islamist agenda. That is why you are opposed to Mr. Narendra Modi. And that is why you want to make sure that the faith that the citizens of this country have in institutions like the Supreme Court is eroded. This is what you are. Beneath this veneer of constitutionalism, you are as rabid an Islamist as anybody I have met or seen in my 31 years and a bit.
Okay, 1 second.
Nepal,
this is important.
In
viewers,
Bangladesh,
today,
Sri Lanka, Maldives.
1 minute. I want to bring in Mr. Visheshwar Rao. Now, Professor, the charge is straightforward. Political score settling was going on. Reputations were being maligned. People were being framed. Your response to that?
No, you're talking about political scores. What we are interested in knowing the truth. The case has been going on for 13 years. There's a high-profile people. The Prime Minister of this country and Amit Shah was the General Secretary of the party. 2 important people of this country are involved in this case. Certainly, someone has, the right to turn hostile, given the evidence today. And we need to find out. And we have been talking about, Loya. Supreme Court may not have agreed how, that, the case should be opened. But then, all of us know on what kind of circumstances, Justice Loya died.
This is weird.
Justice Loya's
1 minute. I have to take a short break. I'll be right back to this. But this is really weird. We are having people on this panel saying that we all know the circumstances under which Mr. Loya died. Judge Loya died. You've had the Supreme Court appoint a commission of inquiry, independently investigated, and has come out and said that this was a case bereft of any truth. And we have individuals on this panel who don't trust the Supreme Court. I think this is the more alarming aspect of this entire story. It's not the fact that a political party could have perhaps pressured an investigative agency to frame someone. What is alarming is that individuals, when confronted with the facts, and when the Supreme Court has come out and ruled, examining those facts, still question them. You know what that suggests? That suggests a major anarchist tendency. We're taking a short break. I'll be right back. In 3 minutes, we'll be back with you, viewers. Don't go away. Viewers, you may all remember the Sohrabuddin alleged fake encounter case. Today, a grave claim is being made. Apparently, Sohrabuddin's brother, an individual called Niyamuddin, had told the CBI that they were misrepresenting his deposition. He had also told the courts via a handwritten affidavit that the CBI had deliberately added the name of people close to then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi to implicate these individuals in the conspiracy, in the cold-blooded murder of his brother Sohrabuddin. And the individuals he was referring to who were framed allegedly by the CBI were Amit Shah and a top Gujarat police officer, Abhay Chudashma. 8 years ago, this particular deposition was made, accusing the CBI of a very grave offense. Somehow, for reasons best known to the CBI and perhaps the UPA government at that time, that affidavit was never considered. Yes, never considered. Amit Shah had to endure time in jail, questioning, interrogations, and several other attempts at character assassination. Today, in fact, just yesterday, this individual, Niyamuddin, has now told the court that the CBI never thought that his protest was worthy enough to be brought to the attention of the court. He has come out and unmasked a deep alleged conspiracy. I want to go straight across to Dr. Sambit Patra and Mr. Paracha, Mahmood Paracha, who are on the opposite sides of this contention. And I want to ask a very simple question. Dr. Patra, why do you believe that the CBI was manipulated? And if you do think that was the case, will now some action be taken to expose those who were behind perhaps the allegations that you're going to make tonight? Very quickly, sir.
Rahul, you have to understand one thing, that as far as your first part of the question is concerned, who are the ones who are behind all this? I of course say Congress and conspiracy are synonymous term. Congress has always conspired to see to it that leadership, anyone who challenges the Gandhi family and their forte, they're never allowed to grow, they're never allowed to exist. And that's the reason as to why such was the attack on Mr. Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. As far as whether they would be punished or not, well, this is in front of the court of law of this country. And of course, anyone who testifies in a wrong way, the court punishes them. Anyone who adds statement which was never said in an affidavit, they would be punished. Ironically over here, I sometimes try to understand that what is the outcome of any debate in such great channels as this. We have panelists over here who do not even believe in the debates that took place on the floor of the Supreme Court. We have Justice Pracha, we have Justice Rao, and we have Justice Suman, who don't have faith in the Supreme Court of India, leave aside any debate on a channel. So what am I to say to these people? I mean, Justice Loya, remember in this case, the Congress had gone to the extent that they threatened the Chief Justice of India and the other judges who were in the bench, saying that we would impeach you if you do not if you do not deliver verdict which is in accordance to what we
Mr. Paracha,
we are going to impeach you.
Was the CBI acting at the behest of its political master? Does the Congress have a case here to answer? Will this begin to haunt them, leading up into a very important political season?
I am not a spokesperson or a spokesperson for Congress party, but
very convenient.
With some common sense, I can say this with some sense of responsibility that Mr. Narendra Modi was
Were you never a part of the Congress, sir?
Congress. There were far taller leaders than him. to oppose Congress. I have also opposed very towering leaders of Congress, and I will come to that when a proper debate is there. That is one. Two, if my friend is talking about Supreme Court, let us remember Babri Masjid demolition case, when they swore affidavits in the Supreme Court and demolished Babri Masjid. So that is the respect they have for Supreme Court. Now I was only pointing out an unprecedented event connected with Mr. Amit Shah, that 4 judges in Judge Loya's case had to come out in the open for a press conference. So I was just pointing out that nobody is, and the opinion.
Listen, Mr. Paracha, that matter is settled. You don't trust your Supreme Court? No, if you don't trust your Supreme Court, that's your problem. The Supreme Court said that there was an attempt to malign the judiciary. Now the Supreme Court has been very, very decent not to rope in other individuals who might have been, articulating the views of a particularly motivated set.
Niyamuddin is saying, did my brother commit suicide? What is the answer of
Sir, no one is doubting the fact that his brother died under unnatural circumstances, but that doesn't give anyone the license to implicate innocence in any particular matter. I'm sorry, you cannot use a particular alleged death through a fake encounter to make a big case against individuals just to block them and just to score political points. It cannot be done. That is anarchy. That, sir, is anarchy. Now, hang on. Big breaking news coming in on this show.